What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Creepy Basement, aka the Axe Workshop. So today I'm going to be going over some of the more popular American and Swedish bushcraft style axes that are available on the market today. Alrighty, so I'm going to be going over all of these axes in order based off of price, starting at most affordable, and we're going to end at most expensive. So today there's not going to be any chopping. I'm going to be pretty much going over, like I said, the price. I'm going to be going over manufacturer specs. I'm going to be going over, comparing them, because I get a lot of questions like, hey, it's hard to tell from a picture on the internet what this axe looks like compared to this axe. So I'm hoping I can answer some of those questions today, but keep your eye out, because following this video, we're going to be doing chopping videos with these axes so you guys can also see how they work in real life situations, because what good is an axe video talking about axes when we're not using the axe? And there's also two axes up here that I have not used yet, and I'm really excited to use. So keep an eye out for that in the near future. I think what I'm going to do is make like a little series, and each axe is going to get its own video. That way we could spend more time on it, talk about it, and then I can give you my thoughts on it. So it'd be almost like a use and review for each axe. With that being said, guys, these axes are very expensive, but I'm here to tell you, I'm living proof that you can find good deals, okay? I don't want anybody to watch this video and get discouraged, and I also don't want to give the impression that I have all this money and I just went out and bought all these axes. Guys, everything I'm showing you here today, I did not pay full price for. Whether it was a gift, a trade, a Black Friday deal, or used on eBay or Facebook Marketplace, I promise you I did not spend full price on anything I'm going to show you here today. So if you could stand to stick it out and wait for the deals, you will come across them. And also too, if you could afford to go out and buy them at retail price and that doesn't bother you, that's fine. I just wasn't personally okay with spending that amount of money on the axe, at the retail price. So it took more time to find the deals that I found, but I'm just here to tell you that they are out there. And I also wanted to talk too about just because you don't have an axe that's marketed as a bushcraft axe doesn't mean that you're not bushcrafting. I get asked a lot, what is a bushcraft axe? Which bushcraft axe should I buy? I'll never tell you what I think you should buy. I'll tell you what I personally like, and then you can make your own decisions. But guys, whatever axe that you have and that you could afford that gets you out in the woods to have fun and to learn things and to experience the outdoors, then that's a bushcraft axe. That, it doesn't matter how much it costs. It doesn't matter if it's a Grange First Brooks. It doesn't matter if it's marketed as a bushcraft axe. Whatever you have that gets you out doing your bushcrafting, then that's a bushcraft axe. Because I'll tell you what, I know a couple guys that have bushcraft axes, Grange First Brooks to be specific, and they sit in they don't use them. They sit in the house, they sit in the closet, they hang up, and they take cool Facebook pictures saying, wow, look at me, look what I have, and they don't use them. So if you want my personal opinion, then that's not a bushcraft axe. It may have been marketed as a bushcraft axe, but if you're not bushcrafting with it and you're not using it, then it's a paperweight. It's not anything. So guys, don't get discouraged if you don't have one of these fancy Scandinavian axes that you're not bushcrafting. Because if you're out there getting the experience and you're having a good time and you have a $5 axe or a $500 axe, like I said, guys, go out and have fun. Don't get caught up in the internet hype. Don't get discouraged about I can't afford this or can't afford that, because everybody can afford to have fun, because it doesn't cost anything to have fun. Guys, I've found axes in freaking barns on jobs and yard sales for $1, and I go use them and I go have fun with them. Okay, it's not about how much you spend, it's about how much time you spend out in the woods having fun. So I'm going to quit rambling on. I'm going to quit my rant here, and we're going to go over some of these things here. I just really wanted to express my feelings, and I don't want anybody to watch my videos and get discouraged. All right, guys, let's get into this. Guys, you're going to have to bear with me. I do apologize. I had to make a cheat sheet. I know it's not very professional, but I could not retain all this information. I just kept mixing it all up. With that being said, as far as the pricing goes, the pricing I just researched before the video, and it's direct from manufacturer. I wanted to provide you guys with the most up-to-date and accurate pricing directly from the manufacturer. I know that if you search them on Amazon and eBay, you might be able to find these axes for a couple dollars cheaper. But like I said, this is directly from the manufacturer's retail pricing. As far as the weight of all the axes goes, I'm providing you with the total weight of the axes. So I weighed them on my scale, and the reason why I did that is because with bushcrafting and guys building packs and stuff, you know, a lot of times people are concerned with how much weight they're adding to their pack. So I thought it would be good information to provide the total weight of the axe, not just how much the head weighs. With that being said, we're going to get right into it, and we're going to start off with number 1 on our list, and that's coming in at most affordable, and that is the Council Tool Flying Fox. So the Council Tool Flying Fox is offered in a 16-inch curved handle, and it's also offered in a 21-inch straight handle. Both axes have the same exact head, just 2 different handle lengths and styles. These axes also come with a hardened pole, which is a really awesome feature for a bushcraft axe. Also too, with this one I reground, they come with a really nice grind from the factory, pretty much user ready right out of the box. So this Flying Fox I didn't reprofile. This one I brought down to 17 degrees, which I probably shouldn't have done because I've chipped that edge quite a bit because I used the heck out of that thing. But this axe, this Flying Fox from the factory grind is 22.5 degrees. That is plenty user sharp out of the box from the factory. So, specs. The 16-inch curved Council Tool Flying Fox before tax and shipping comes in at $56. A total weight of 2.056 pounds, and my axe, the total length is 15.25 inches. Now remember, about this time last year, the head came loose, so I had to jump the head down and reseat it, and rehang it, so I lost a little bit of length there. So I'm sure that brand new from Council Tool, it is a lot closer to 16 inches. Now the 21-inch Flying Fox is $59 before tax and shipping, a total weight of 2.254 pounds, and this one is exactly 21 inches. So next axe up on the list is going to be the Husqvarna multi-purpose forest axe, hand forged in Sweden, I believe by Hultafors for Husqvarna. This axe retails at $130, total weight of 2.582 pounds, and a total length of 26 inches. The factory grind on this axe before I reprofiled it was 25 degrees. So, you know, if you didn't want to mess with it, definitely user sharp out of the box. I do have a video using this the day after I got the axe, kind of like out of the box first impressions video, and I was very pleased with it. I thought it was more than capable. Yes, I thought the handle was a bit thick, so I thinned it down, and I did, you know, reprofile the bit. But if you didn't want to touch it, totally usable out of the box. So next up we have the Council Tool Camp Carver. This axe is offered in a 16-inch curved handle and also a 22-inch straight handle. Unfortunately, I don't have a 22-inch straight handle here to show you, but just for size comparison, I'll show you the 21-inch Flying Fox, so that way you get at least a good idea as far as size difference goes. I know it's not the same head design, but you could just see the difference in size between 21 and 16. So very similar to the 2 handle options for the Flying Fox. The Camp Carver does come with a hardened pole. It comes with a 25-degree flat grind, which is advertised 25-degree flat grind, and it is accurate. It is 25 degrees. It also has this beautiful, nice cutaway in the head here, so you can really choke up on the head. Feels like it would be super comfortable. Obviously, this handle looks like it just came out of the box. It is brand new. I've had it for a while now. I just haven't really got around to using it, and I wanted to use it for the first time on camera. I wanted to give you guys a first impressions video. So I haven't really had time to make the video, so I haven't really pushed myself to get out and use this thing because I don't want to give you a first impressions video and it really isn't my first impression. So I'll be sure to get out soon to use this thing, because now since we're doing this little bushcraft series, that's going to give me the push I need to make some time to make this video, because I'm going to have to make time to make a video for all these axes. So with that being said, guys, the specs on this axe. Retail price is $170, and the 22-inch version I believe is $176. I'll have to double check on that. Total weight is 2.094 pounds, advertised 16 inches long, and mine is exactly 16 inches long. Alrighty, so next up on the list is going to be the Council Tool Woodcraft Pack Axe. This is the 24-inch version. This is also offered in a 19-inch handle. Unfortunately, I don't have the 19-inch to show you guys today, and I almost didn't have the 24-inch to show you either. I had to borrow this from a friend for the sake of the video, and I have to be super careful with it because it's brand new. He hasn't used it yet, so I gotta be super careful with this thing, because the only other way to show you the Woodcraft Pack Axe was to show you mine, and mine is now on a 26-inch straight handle. It's reprofiled, it's used a lot, so I wanted to try to find you guys an example of what it's like out of the box, and fortunately, like I said, I was able to get a hold of one for you guys. But I do still have the 24-inch handle for mine. I've been considering putting it back in the head eventually, but I don't know, I'm kind of really liking that 26-inch handle. But yeah, so anyway, sorry about all that. Council Tool Woodcraft Pack Axe, 24-inch. Factory grind, I believe, is 25 degrees. Yep, 25 degrees. It's pretty much a flat grind. It's got a slight convex. You know, it follows that nice Swedish, you know, turpentine style head, super bushcrafty. You really choke up on this thing. It also has a hardened pole. You got some pretty sweet phantom bevels there. Really awesome axe. Guys, this axe right out of the box, well, before I switched the handle, more than capable, guys. I was blown away at the capability of this axe. Super awesome. If you're able to get your hands on one of these, I promise you'll be blown away. It's an outstanding axe. So the specs, the retail price on this is $179 for a total weight of 2.75 pounds, and it's advertised as 24 inches long. After it's hung, this one comes in at 23.5. Next up, we have the notorious Forest Brook Small Forest Axe. I've used this axe a handful of times. I think it's a very capable axe. It's nice and sharp. It's beautiful. I see why everybody loves it. But obviously, you guys are probably looking at it like, man, that thing looks brand new still. And for good reason. It does not have as much use as I would have liked to have on this axe, but we are going to save my thoughts for the video where we're actually using these axes. That's not what today's video is about. So I'm going to have to hold my tongue on that and wait till we do the testing and the impressions videos on all of these. So the specs on this Forest Brook Small Forest Axe. Retail price is $209, a total weight of 2.084 pounds, and a total length of 19.5 inches. And the factory grind on mine is 20 degrees. Not bad, Forest Brook. 20-degree flat grind. Alrighty, guys, Forest Brook Small Forest Axe. Alrighty, guys, last but certainly not least, and the most expensive axe on our list today is the Forest Brook Scandinavian Forest Axe. I've used this axe literally 3 times, and not for the same reasons why I don't have a lot of time into the small forest axe. Like I said, that's something completely different. I will save that for the video. But this axe, it's for such a stupid reason. The palm swell drives me crazy. It gave me a blood blister, and it's like super uncomfortable. And like, you might not think that, but to me, I think this palm swell sucks, and the handle's a little too thick. And I just like, I don't know if it's just no time or I'm just got lazy or whatever, but I just haven't got around to reshaping it. In 2 videos, I said, next time I use this axe, I'm going to make sure the handle's thinned down and this palm swell is tuned to my liking. And I haven't done it yet. Literally almost a year later, no, probably 8 months later, I still haven't done it yet. But I promise, on the record, I'm going to have this thing tuned up before we do the video on all these axes, so I could actually enjoy using it, because I think it chops extremely well, and I really do love this axe, and it's super special to me. For those that don't know, I got this as a gift from a subscriber, so I'm super thankful and super appreciative for this axe, and I would love to use it more. I just got to move my lazy butt and get this thing tuned up. But you know, there's a lot of things here in this basement that I say I'm going to get to one day, and I haven't done yet. So on the record, I promise I will get this thing tuned up, because like I said, I would love to use this thing a lot more than I do because I really do love this axe. So on to the specs. So this axe retail price is $228. $228 for a total weight of 2.76 pounds and a total length of 25 inches. Grand's First factory grind on this. Mine is let's say it's got a slight wiggle in 22.5, and it isn't totally buried on 20. I mean, I would call that 20. You know what? We're gonna split the difference here. I said 21 degree grind, guys. Now I would say that's every bit of 20 degrees. Yeah, like I said, guys, I absolutely love this axe. I just got super lazy. I didn't tune it up yet. As far as the handle goes, every time I go out and use it, I'm always like, man, why didn't I tune the palm swell yet? Like, this is driving me nuts. Because the reason why it really bothers me is I hold my hand on the axe, way far down. Like you can see, the Husqvarna, that palm swell is almost exactly like the Grand Sports Brooks. A lot of the Swedish axe handles are like that. And you can see how I tuned this one down. I like to hold the handles kind of back far like that. One being that the handles are a little shorter on these axes than axes I'm used to using. I do prefer a shorter handle, but on most of my felling axes, I have an almost exact 27 to 28 inch. So being 25-ish, 26 inches, I like to hold them a little far back. And like I said, this thing just absolutely kills me. And that's what this used to look like. I just haven't got around to it yet. But like I said, guys, I got to put my butt in gear here and do that because I do love using that axe. Just got to get around to it. And it's funny too because on the small forest axe, that doesn't bother me at all. But I think it's because of the length, and it's a little less aggressive, but I think it's just the length and the weight of the axe. Being short, it doesn't feel as heavy, and I'm not swinging it two-handed like I am with this. This is more of sometimes two hands, more of a one-hand use, but it's not really getting used as hard as the 25-inch Scandinavian forest axe. So that's my excuse. Take it as you will, but that is the truth. That's the reason why it doesn't get used that much, is because I'm lazy and I haven't got around to it yet. But I will be sure to do that. But one nice thing is, most of my go-tos, obviously you could see the condition of this Flying Fox. This thing goes everywhere with me. I absolutely love it. I do got to say that one great thing about the Council tool axes, besides everything else that's great about them, is you really don't have to do anything to the handles. This handle I did tune up, I thinned out a bit. I thought it was a little chunky, but like the Woodcraft pack axe, like this it's dialed. Like you don't have to do anything to it. It feels great. The grind's great. You can tune it up if you'd like. Like on mine, I tuned mine a little bit and I changed the grind. I'm sure just by feeling it, the camp carver feels like it's going to be perfect. I'm not going to do much to it. But the Swedish axes, the handles are a bit thick for my liking. The palm swell is a bit wonky. But I'm impressed with the grinds. I did tune up the grind on the Husqvarna, but that's preference. I did thin the handle down, but that's the big thing with the Swedish axes. I think the handles could definitely afford to be like half as thick as they are. But like I said, I want to save all this for the chopping video because I just want to tell you guys the specs. So the Flying Fox 21-inch is very similar in length and style to the Grand Sports small forest axe. You can see the heads are almost about the same length. You have a little more cutting area on the Flying Fox, but the head profiles are very similar, nice and thin in the cheek. It's almost like a hollow grind. Obviously this is a 21-inch straight handle. This is 19.5 curved, but very similar and very similar in weight. Obviously the Flying Fox, as far as specification goes, kind of seems like the better option because you have more cutting area, you have a hardened pole, you're pretty much the same weight, essentially the same length, and this is $209. This is $59. Like, this will chop just as good as this. And we know what steel this is. We don't know what steel this is. This is 1060, and this is secret information. Recycled Swedish steel. Now we'll compare the small forest axe to the Scandinavian forest axe, its big brother. You can see very similar axes, a little more weight in the Scandinavian, obviously a little more length. This is 19.5 inches. This is 25. The Scandinavian forest axe compared to the Council Tool Woodcraft pack axe. Again, just like compared to the small forest axe, you know, the Council Tool has a hardened pole. It has a 25-degree flat grind. This is 5160 steel. So you are kind of close in price. This is $228 and this is $179. So it's a couple bucks cheaper, which is awesome. It's still a pricey axe, but as far as specs go, you know, I would lean more towards the Council Tool because one, it's cheaper, two, it's a higher grade of steel, and you got a couple more features with it. You know, you have the hardened pole. That's really an awesome thing to have on a bushcraft axe. This is the Husqvarna compared to the Council Tool. We got the Husqvarna compared to the Gransfors Brook Scandinavian forest axe. The Husqvarna compared to the small forest axe. And then Husqvarna compared to Flying Fox. And you could see, obviously I wish I had the longer camp carver here, but here's the camp carver in comparison to the Woodcraft pack axe. You can see they're very similar axes. The Woodcraft pack axe obviously is a little heavier than the camp carver. This has more of an upsweep where this is more straight. Oh, and I forgot to mention too, the Flying Fox, the camp carver, the Woodcraft pack axe, they all have a 90-degree, I guess you'd call this a spine, 90-degree spine here to strike a ferro rod. Another great feature to have on a bushcraft axe. So I personally feel like the Council Tools come in at a better price point. They're using great steels. You don't really have to tune the handles up. They come out excellent from the factory. I've always had great grain with them. I've never had any edge damage. I mean, my Flying Fox gets edge damage, but I put that to 17 degrees with no micro bevel. That's something I'm going to have to address, but that's my own fault. I'm saying from the factory, they're totally user sharp out of the box. Of course, they could afford to be tuned up to be better, but you don't need to. The handles are some of the best factory handles I've ever, handled or ever used. They really hit the bushcraft market nail on the head. You have the hardened pole, pounding tent stakes, doing other things in bushcrafting. You have a 90-degree spine to strike a ferro rod. You have great steels that have really good edge retention and are also easy enough to tune up in the field with a puck where, you know, I find the Gransfors are pretty hard. You can sharpen them with a puck, but if you chip them, they're a lot easier to use a file to fix them up, where a 1060 you can get away with an aggressive stone and really you could pull a chip out of there. Obviously, if you have a big chip, no matter what, you're coming back to home base and using a file. Yeah, I mean, I think they're all great, but I do have to give credit where credit's due, and Council Tool really hit the nail on the head and is knocking it out of the park in almost every aspect. The Gransfors Brook has the, I don't know how to put it, but they have the, how do you say it? They're beautiful. They have the kind of like Scandinavian, Swedish history to them. They're very nostalgic. When you think of a bushcraft axe, you think of Gransfors Brooks. And don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking Gransfors Brooks at all. I absolutely love their axes. I really enjoy using them. I think they're gorgeous. But when you're talking about statistics, you're talking about specs, and you're talking about the end user, what is going to benefit the end user more for a more better price? You're getting more out of the console tool at a less expensive price. Granted, you're talking about 179 versus 228, but still that's a pretty decent savings. But if you wanted to go full budget and get the Flying Fox, like I'm telling you, this is my most used hatchet. This is my go-to hatchet out of everything. This is always on my hip, whether I'm using a full-size axe out in the woods. This is with me all the time. This is in my truck with me every time I leave the house. This is my go-to axe. You're getting all the features in a $56 axe, if you want the 16-inch version, that you're getting in an almost $200 axe from Council Tool. You're getting the 90-degree spine. You're getting the hardened pole. You're getting a user edge. You're getting a really nice handle. Obviously, the Woodcraft pack axe and the Camp Carver is a 5160 steel, where this is a 1060, but you're still getting a hardened pole. It's like a mini rafter. You're getting a hardened pole. You're getting a user sharp edge. You're getting a beautiful handle right out of the box for $56. So if you wanted to go full budget and have all the features of the perfect Bushcraft axe, it's the Flying Fox. Like it's an amazing axe. And like I said, I'm going to go into a lot more detail, and we're going to use these axes out in the woods so you guys can see how they work. But man, every axe here, like I said, I absolutely love them. I do have an issue with this one. We will talk about that on another day. And yeah, so that's my ramble. Alrighty, guys, I think that's where I'm going to wrap it up. Sorry if I bored you too much with all the rambling and this and that. I know it was kind of a boring video, not too much action. It was just all specs and talking. But I really wanted to get this video out of the way so we can get into the chopping part of this video. So with that being said, guys, I really hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you were able to learn something. I hope I was able to answer any questions you may have had about any of these axes. And if there's something I didn't talk about that you wish I did talk about, or something I brushed over that you think I should have went into a little more detail about, I know I said we're going to go into more detail about each one of these axes in the chopping video, but let me know down in the comments and I'll be happy to answer any questions you might have. So again, guys, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you on the next one when we're out in the woods using these awesome axes.